We are free and fairly sober with so many toys to build. The machines are kind of tricky, probably someone will be killed. But we gladly work for nothing,
which is good because we don't intend to pay.
The elves are back to work today. Hooray! We have just a couple hours to make several billion gifts, and the labor isn't easy.
Then you'll all work triple shifts. You can make the job go quicker if you turn up the controls to super speed.
It's back to work on Xmas Eve. Hooray!
And though
No power in the verse can stop me.
Yeah, boom, let's do it. Let's go.
Let's rock and roll.
That's
What? Oh, come on.
Go.
Let's rock the boat.
What's
Rock the
going
boat,
on,
baby.
guys? My name is Jingle Bell De Niro, and welcome to episode 30 of the Midnight Hour.
Yay!
Yay! Woo!
Jack was talking at the start.
And the crowd goes wild.
Can you guys believe that I wasn't the one who just said that?
What?
No.
Yes, I can.
Crazy. Anyways,
No.
This is the last episode before Christmas, so if you celebrate Christmas, happy Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy
Happy Christmas.
Yeah, happy
Happy
Christmas.
Hanukkah.
Today we're going to be doing like an awards show to discuss the best of 2014, and it should come as no surprise to anybody that we do not have anything really written down and we're going to just wing this the whole way. But we are going to start off with the category of best carbonated soft drink of 2014, and the winner is coincidentally our sponsor for this episode, Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Enjoy
Coca-Cola.
a can of Coke with anything you do.
Introduced to the market in 1886, Coca-Cola is sold in stores, restaurants, bars, and vending machines throughout the world.
And all good bookshops.
Yeah, and all good bookstores. Check it out, Coca-Cola. You won't be disappointed. Terms and conditions apply. This episode is not
I'm
really sponsored by it.
I'm genuinely worried that we're now actually sponsored by Coca-Cola.
There's worse things to be sponsored by, Jack.
Yeah, like AIDS.
like Pepsi.
Like your fucking internet, for one.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, Jack will intermittently be cut out of this episode because of his awful fucking internet.
I don't know what's happened to my internet. It's just gotten so shit recently.
It's pretty bad.
BT have really stepped down their game.
They have. They truly have.
As if they ever had a game to start with.
So, like, in the sort of tail end of the last episode, if you didn't catch it, we discussed certain aspects of this episode already, but we're going to go back over them to see if we have revised our opinions. So, most obvious one to start with, I think, is Movie of the Year. I say, I'm torn between Interstellar and Gone Girl, but I say Interstellar just because it lived up to the hype, and for me personally, it had a tremendous amount of hype. So,
I mean, I can only vote on what I've seen,
yeah, well, that's
and
what I'm doing.
I've only seen Godzilla this year.
It's the only movie
just the
you've
one.
seen.
I liked Up again this year, so I'm going to vote Up.
Yeah, well played. I'm going to go with Snowpiercer as an outside bet.
Oh, good choice. Good movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that is one of the greatest lines ever when Captain America says, "You know what I hate the most about myself? I know what people taste like, and I know that babies taste the best."
Yeah.
What a fucking line that is.
Implying that he had both eaten a human and a
Whoa,
human baby.
is that what it was?
I mean, if you didn't
Yeah.
get it from that, what were you watching? No, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Other Jack? Well, original Jack?
I have
Okay,
done
for
the
sure.
genius thing of not watching anything this year, so my vote
What have you
is going
seen?
to be for Backdoor Sluts 12.
Your vote
We
was
have
for that
that,
movie that you made.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Right. Song of the Year, we all kind of unanimously decided Shake It Off by Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I think so.
If I was to revise that opinion, I'd say either Lie, Cheat and Steal by Run the Jewels, or All My Life by Run the Jewels, or Close Your Eyes and Count to Fuck by Run the Jewels, or Black Me Out by Against Me. I think that covers it.
I think the only other option would really be Steal My Girl, One Direction.
Yeah, but it's towards the end of the year. I mean, it's.
Yeah, there were better songs.
Remember back to January, or at least like June or
I
something.
can't remember yesterday. I
Well,
listened
what
to
was your favourite song of yesterday?
Taylor Swift. I listened to it. I listened to Still My Girl and enjoyed that as well.
Well, we've come full circle. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Taylor Swift personally.
It just is, isn't it?
Taylor Swift is my boy.
She's your homeboy, yeah.
She is your boy. Yeah.
I love
TV
the
show
fact
of the
that
year.
she just can't dance, can she?
Nobody can dance anymore. You notice that? You've seen Ariana Grande?
Okay.
Like, she cannot dance. Like, they don't dance anymore. They just kind of flail about helplessly. And that's a music video now.
But Taylor Swift is kind of built like a tall person. Like, she's all sort of legs. Like, can legs people
She's all
dance?
legs.
It's like giraffes are probably not the dancing animal community, you know? It's probably...
I'd say that giraffes are more known for their necks than their legs.
Taylor
Like,
Swift is the Peter Crouch of pop music, evidently.
Yes. Yeah.
She's got a great touch for a big lass.
Fucking love that commentary cliche. Like, he's got a good touch for a big man. He's a fucking professional footballer. He should have a good touch.
You say that, but some professional footballers do touch like a rapist.
Javier Hernandez is my favourite footballer outside the box. Like, his link-up play. Like, sometimes he is actually good, like, as you'd expect a footballer like him to be. But sometimes his link-up play is so fucking bad. Like, he'll
He's
pick the
such
ball
a
up on the
basic
wing.
finisher, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He'll look up and take a pass and just pass it straight to fucking, I don't know, Michael Dewberry. You know?
My favourite video of him is where he's basically in front of an open goal, goes to shoot it in from this low cross. It comes off of his foot, hits him in his own face,
Yeah.
and goes into the goal.
So good. He got the assist.
He's still celebrating.
That's possibly just yeah.
Peak.
Is he the first person to ever get an assist on his own goal?
No, I doubt it. I'd say George Best probably got a couple.
You're probably right.
If you take the ball off one of the defenders and score from that, is that assisting your own goal, or is that's just no assist?
Don't know how that actually works.
Just an
to be honest.
assist.
In fact, yeah, it doesn't go down as assist, I don't think.
Nah. Yeah, because an assist is the last person to pass it to you before you score. So he didn't realistically get his own assist, but
Yeah.
it was a thing that happened. So not this year.
TV of the year, TV show.
TV of the year
of the
is
year.
going to the
TV of
the year.
Panasonic Smart
Yeah.
TV.
Who happened to sponsor the Midnight Out?
Yeah.
Given that I'm still watching stuff from years gone past, it's always something in Philadelphia. So once again, top notch this year.
You know what I'm going to say? Only Irish viewers will get this, but Love Hate Season 5 was very, very satisfying. It was really intense from the start. It was kind of high pressure. There was a couple episodes where things really changed in a way that you wouldn't expect it to, and the ending was fucking incredible. So I'm actually going to say Love Hate Season 5.
Yeah, you said that last week, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. No,
I thought you
I thought you were going to last week,
You
but you
agreed with
didn't.
me last week.
Surprised me.
No, I didn't say it. Because I was thinking of what I watched, like Homeland and The Walking Dead are in there, but they didn't really do much for me this year.
Suits was good.
Yeah, Suits was decent actually. Forgot about that. Season 4 Suits was pretty good, but now I'm gonna give it to my homeboys. Love Hate.
I'm giving it to True Detective.
I'm giving it to Sons of Anarchy, as always, because I just watched the season finale of the last season the other night, and I wanted to cry. It was great.
That is on my list of things to watch.
Yeah, I would recommend it to anyone.
They drive
So many people
motorcycles, yeah.
I'd recommend it to anyone. You've got almost every season on Netflix, so why not?
Yeah.
I shared my Netflix account with somebody else and his entire family, so I can't watch Sons of Anarchy because someone is on season 5 or something like that. So if I
Shit.
watch it and they go to continue, they'll go back to the start.
Have you not heard of sub accounts though, yo?
Yeah, but I can't be dealing with all that
Shit.
nonsense. But what I am going to do next time, actually, that I'm going to watch a new series, is just change my IP address so that it'll be American Netflix, and I can watch it on that.
Oh yeah.
But I was
Yeah,
thinking,
you can make profiles on Netflix, can't you?
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But who's got time for that? You're only allowed to
Me.
3 of them anyway, and we've got.
I've got 5 sub accounts.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's great.
What about the best TV show even that you started watching this year that was previously unknown to you? Because I started watching The Office, the US one, and it was incredible.
I'd agree with that. The Office. I put it off for so long because I didn't think it could be the English one or be anywhere near as good, but it just is its own show, and it is good for that.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it gets into its own sort of head.
It's
of
after
Humour.
it's after like season 2, isn't it? That it starts to.
Season
Really
1
kick into
is
its
just the replay of the British office, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a shot-for-shot remake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was only the first episode was.
No, I'm pretty sure the entire season is.
I know they did an
Yeah.
American IT crowd that was shot for shot. Like the opening was just. I'd just seen the opening. It was just dreadful.
Yeah, no, they
They
do
did the same for the
with
In-Betweeners, didn't they?
In-Betweeners, yeah. People always complain about that, but what they don't understand is that it's the people who made the original one are the ones who make the American one as well. But the reason
Yeah.
that they do it that way is just to introduce it, and then it takes off on its own. And I think the best example of that is the US Office, because it truly is its own TV show, and it's amazing, and it has amazing characters and all. So, in your
Fair
face,
enough.
society.
I'd go
Yeah.
with Suits. I started watching Suits this year, and I knocked out all 4 seasons.
Mine's after mine's either Suits or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or The Office, because I only started watching all of them this year, and they're all fucking brilliant.
The Office is great.
There's a show I started watching this year, and for some reason I can't for the life of me remember the name of it, and it's pissing me off. So it clearly isn't that good. So never mind.
Was it Revolution?
Not quite.
What's it about?
I genuinely haven't got. I'd have to open my Netflix account, and I'm way
Yeah, it
too
must
lazy
have
to
been
do
good.
that right now.
That was a really good story you told us just then.
Yeah.
Thanks.
About a thing
I,
you know nothing about.
Yeah, thanks. I really try and keep things interesting on this podcast.
I'm so glad your internet lasted long enough to hear that.
It's alright. It's been sticking around to hear that story, and it's going to cut out again in a second. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Right, what about the best World Cup of the year? I'd probably go for the 2014 World Cup.
I saw a drawing of a World Cup trophy, and that's quite nice. So
1978.
Yeah.
I had a cup of tea the other day that was a mug and it had a map of the world around it, so I'm going to go for that one.
Interesting.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That's,
Good call. Do we vote now? Do we on what's the best?
I've been swayed. Yeah, I've been swayed by the mug.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
swayed by the vote.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
the last minute.
it's a world mug,
Yeah.
not a World Cup, but you know.
Well,
Which
I-
is
I'm
why
gonna
it's
still give it-
disqualified from this award ceremony.
But can we really give it to the World Cup in Brazil because FIFA and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah. Fuck that. I'm
I'd,
gonna go
I'd
for
feel morally unsettled by that.
Yeah. So Jack's mug is the winner.
Yeah, well done,
Okay,
Jack.
congratulations.
Everybody, round of
Oh.
applause.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Any words on behalf of the mug, Jack?
No.
Put
Cool.
tea in me.
Your commemorative mug to congratulate you is on its way.
Yep.
Wow, he
good.
won a mug because. Wow.
Right. I have a category here that I made up because I want to talk about something, and that's bullshit moment of the year. Now we can discuss other bullshit moments of the year when this moment is over, but this whole fucking the interview, the movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco being pulled because theaters are refusing to show it because they're afraid of terrorist attacks. This story is mind-boggling because of kind of what the media have done to it, really. Like, I think the media are entirely responsible for this absolute fucking shambles of a movie release. But I will say, had I known that all you had to do was, make a terrorist threat to stop a movie from being pulled, there would have been no fourth Transformers movie. That's my joke for the day. Write that down. Best joke of 2014.
Jesus.
How do we come back?
How do
after
we?
that?
How do we come back after that? There is no way we can.
That was dynamite.
Yeah.
How many terrorist attacks have been traced back to North Korea in the last so many years on Western soil? Should we say?
Probably none.
Yeah.
It depends
Yeah,
your-
I'm guessing a grand total of none.
Whatever your interpretation of terrorism is. I know that they sank a South Korean sub about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
North Korea, but that's more of a
Well, that wasn't because they were angry at Team America World Police, was it?
no. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, people believe that North Korea are genuinely responsible for this. Like, if North Korea had a say in what fucking movies get released, there'd be no Olympus Has Fallen, there'd be no Red Dawn remake, there'd definitely be no Team America World Police. Like, this is fucking nonsense to assume that North Korea have any say in the pulling of this movie. It's the fact that theaters, cinemas in America won't screen it because they're afraid of terrorist attacks.
I heard that it was also because, like, America and the UK and most Western countries are outside of what limited nuclear reach that South Korea has. But like, Sony being a massive Japanese company, they're well within North Korea's piddly little rocket throwing range.
Yeah, but
So they've kind of decided that, you know, we're within range of their actual weapons, so that's probably a good idea.
I bet that North Korea's nuclear artillery isn't all that. Like, you've seen.
Oh
that.
yeah, it's probably not, but it's not enough to hit the US or the UK, but it's enough to possibly hit Japan.
But Japan would fuck shit up for them, I reckon.
Nah, not with, well,
North
North Korea have China on their side, and that's not
Japan
something
have
you want to fuck with.
Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
He is the equalizer. He is
It'd be great
balance.
if North Korea like fired one off and it just sort of landed within their fucking country. That seemed quite right.
That's already happened. It didn't even make it off the fucking launch pad.
Yeah, that's true.
just sort of fell and made a weird noise, like nope.
In fact, coincidentally, the worst space program of 2014 has been awarded to North Korea by us. So.
Well, I saw a thing the other day, like people were saying, I'm fairly sure Sony have just cancelled this movie because it's the worst Seth Rogen, James Franco mix of all time, and there's some fucking bad mixes.
Does the world need another fucking Seth Rogen and James Franco? Like, God almighty, I hate those two so much.
Fair play to them, though. If you were able to convince massive movie companies that let you give you a massive budget to let you make films with your best mate.
Yeah.
Like,
oh God, yeah.
Fair play. Yeah.
I do love,
This
like...
Is the End. Have you seen This Is the End?
No.
Yeah.
That was decent.
Yeah.
That was
But it's basically
funny.
just they're all like the six of them are all best mates in real life.
Yeah.
And they just
It's
make
like-
an apocalypse movie.
Yeah, it's like they've gone, we're not even going to bother with characters. No, we're just, because we always just play ourselves in characters anyway. So we'll just be ourselves
Seth
anyway.
Rogen says, like in every interview for every film, goes, I'm just playing myself. This is me in a film again.
Yeah.
Actually, I watched his audition tape for the US office. He was auditioning for Dwight, and it would have been so bad if he got it. Like,
God, yeah.
he's the guy. He plays the funny guy in every movie he's in, and he's not funny. Like, I just find that to be pretty weird. Like, humor is subjective and all that, but Seth Rogen just
He's just got a weird laugh, and
Yeah, his laugh annoys me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, your man Jonah Hill is like 100 Seth Rogens in terms of, you know,
Size
actability
and
humor.
acting.
yeah.
No, Jonah Hill is like really good. I think
Jonah Hill is funny.
we
He's
should
dead.
like get rid of Seth Rogen and just put Jonah Hill in there and let him do all the stuff. All the stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's what
of this, just all of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All of the stuff and things.
So yeah, like the whole situation is just bizarre. I think as well, Sony got put under a lot of pressure from other companies who were like, here, by the way, man, if the theaters aren't showing, like, if the theaters won't show your movie, people won't go to the theaters. They're less likely to see our movies and trailers for our movies. So
Don't quite this up to the rest of us.
Yeah, it's all about not making a loss on the project, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if I don't know, how much did it cost? Like, I don't know, 100 million to make or something like that?
Was it
And
actually?
they're gonna make
I don't
that.
know.
No, surely not.
They're gonna make that much in DVD sales, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're not
they
even
must-
releasing
they
it
must
in
do.
that, are they? They're not
Who's
even making...
gonna buy a DVD of that? Like, as soon as you find out that movie has been released but not gotten a cinematic release, like, you're gonna pirate it. That's what I think. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think
As
anyone
soon
would buy
as all that's going to happen is one bloke in fucking Sweden is going to buy the DVD. It'll go on, well, whatever the replacement for Pirate Bay is.
it. ISO Hunt. At the
Yeah.
moment.
The
ISO
Viking
Hunt, and then everybody will see it. And then North Korea will bomb us all. There'll be no chance of World War III because we'll all be dead. The end.
And there's your
one look forward to
apocalypse
it.
movie, Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
If I was him, I would do something like that. I'd make a movie that takes the piss out of my previous movie that failed. Like, that has to be done. I do love a good bit of self-deprecation, and especially when it's people I don't like anyway who are doing it. But yeah, no, that whole thing is just fucked up. I think, like,
Yeah, it's just daft.
yeah,
So that
it's, like,
was one...
what?
Sorry, you You go.
I was just gonna say it's played into the media's hands perfectly. Like they have this whole image of North Korea that's been perfectly executed, anyways, like by the media in general. Even though I think our perception of North Korea is different to what it actually is, although it is obviously terrible and everything. But I just find it really fucking odd that they took that story, ran with it.
It's so easy for them. It's so easy for them to like sensationalize this as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's
because
so
it's North Korea.
sensationalized. Yeah, because North Korea fascinates the fuck out of people. Like,
yeah.
But,
What was it this year with the whole North Korean stuff anyway? Like, we killed his uncle, didn't he? And they had the rocket go off.
There was rumours that he was dead, wasn't there?
Yeah, and the hoax that he was dead
because he hadn't been seen for weeks.
Yeah, and in fact, all he did was like twist his ankle or something.
Yeah.
even the way the media reported that, like, your man went like I mean, fair enough, right? He's an abomination of a human being and he commits some horrible atrocities or whatever. But the way the media reports on it is just like he's this fucking pantomime villain who is so easily described with perfect villain traits, like, oh yeah, Kim Jong-un, who has a fondness for cheese. Like, as if that's the thing that led to his possible death. Like, yeah, well, he does like cheese, that lad, and he is pretty overweight. Like, he's not obese, do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't look like he'd have huge health problems because of his weight. Like,
I think it's
sort of thing though.
You know.
Right, the call went really fucked up there.
I didn't hear a thing about that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God! I thought it was just me.
No, that was fucked up. I didn't enjoy that at all.
I heard a thing the other day was then to solve their like hunger crisis, they brought like 4 or 5 giant rabbits from another country, and then this is actually true. They brought giant rabbits from another country, but then the first night they was there, they had a buffet and they ate them.
Fuck. That has to be made up.
That is 100% true.
No, it's made up.
I don't know.
Who authorises the rabbit eating? Like, have you
ever seen pictures of giant rabbits, like the size of some of them?
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah,
like they're abnormally.
At what point did they just go, like, yeah, rabbits. Rabbits is what we need. Like, I am hungry and I'm craving rabbit right now. Like, yeah, bro, like, that's what I need. Rabbit.
This is a country that imports like how much whiskey and fucking cheeseburgers and all that shit from America anyway. Like, I don't see them ever going like, you know what? Yeah, rabbit. That's what I need right now. Maybe around Easter time, you'd eat a couple of chocolate buns.
I was going to say FIFA, the ethics report.
Yeah, that was pretty bullshit.
That guy's resigned there, isn't he?
Michael Garcia, yeah.
Yeah, which makes it even more bullshit.
Yeah, it makes it even more obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he has to resign over it, surely that's proper fucked, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was definitely a push as well.
Yeah, because, there's no reason for him to resign. He published a report as he was told. So, yeah, it's complete bullshit. FIFA are laughing stuff.
They're hilarious.
Was this about the slave
just a joke
in Qatar?
No, it's just about the general...
it's about Russia and Qatar getting 2018 and 2022.
Mm.
Oh, right.
And the bidding process, wasn't it?
There's the ethics report, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the slave workers is worse.
I mean,
there's so much stuff about this. Awful, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a knock-on effect from them getting it in the first place.
That's true.
It's the fact that they've got slave workers while they've been given something they shouldn't have. So they need the thing workers because of it.
The Russia one, like, I don't mind Russia getting the World Cup. I actually think that's kind of cool. Like, everyone's saying stuff like, oh yeah, but there's racism in Russia. Like, listen, not every single street in Russia is fucking paved with racism, you know? Like, there's a fuckload of crime in Brazil. Like, more people die as a result of gunshots in Brazil every day than there are reports of racism in Russia. Like, you can't just pick something and say, well, this is bad, therefore it shouldn't be held there. Like, for the most part, Russia is not a racist country, so, like, they'll be fine to host the World Cup.
I think the fact that they can't even play a Champions League game without having to play the next one behind closed doors because of racism, isn't a great sign of things.
That's true,
yeah. But I would say football supporters aren't exactly the greatest example of people from a country.
That's exactly it. Like,
and yet those are the people that are going to go to the World Cup. Plus, don't forget about all the ridiculous amount of red tape you have to get to just to get into Russia.
Yeah, but those aren't the people that are gonna
Yeah, those aren't the people that are going to go to the World
Well,
Cup.
no.
They'll cut those people out. They'll stop those people going to the World Cup matches.
Yeah, like what happens when there's a World Cup on is that FIFA come in and they set up their own towns within your town.
Yeah.
Like they have their own FIFA towns that divide fans and keep everybody in order. Like that's why you don't really get trouble at the World Cup anymore. Like it doesn't really, I don't know, like it just doesn't really work out that way as such. Like I guarantee you the level of violent incidences in Russia will not be greater than any previous World Cup.
Well, yeah. I mean, weren't there stories coming out of Brazil that they hired literally murder squads to kill, homeless, feral kids, stuff like that, leading up to the World Cup?
Sure, if you see the amount of military equipment they had on display in Brazil, like every single World Cup like that is an opportunity for the relevant governments in control of the country to flex their muscles and just be like, yeah, well, we've got tanks with fucking lasers on them and stuff like that. Like, that's what it'll be like in Russia. There's a really heavy military presence in Russia anyway, like, obviously with the whole Crimea thing and all of that going on. Like, they're gonna be fucking taking that really seriously if they see any problems.
Yeah, I don't think most people don't really have a problem with the Russia thing because Russia is a superpower in the world, and to not have them have hosted a World Cup in as many years as the World Cup has been around is kind of bullshit anyway. The fact that Germany's had it 3 times or whatever it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's still a trickle down effect. Like we can talk about the fans as well, but there's a trickle down effect with the fact that the hostility towards gay people as well.
Yeah, that
comes down.
That's probably
that comes down not even just from the fans, but that comes down from the top. That comes from the top down. That there's no getting rid of that.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree with that because that is like racism is illegal, but it's not exactly frowned upon to be black in Russia, like by the eyes of the government, whereas it kind of is to be gay, and that is definitely bullshit. Like they can't really, I don't know, they can't really do that. But it's the same with Qatar as well, isn't it? It is actually literally illegal to be a homosexual in Qatar, as far as I know.
I think
it's illegal. It's illegal to drink in public in Qatar, isn't it?
Yeah. Good luck fucking enforcing that.
They said they were going to change that for the World Cup, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, which is another example of like FIFA just flexing their muscles with shit like that. Because
FIFA did that at Brazil.
Yeah, they did. You couldn't. They didn't sell a certain beer or something, didn't they?
No, you couldn't drink. You can't drink in stadiums in Brazil. But the fact is, Budweiser is the main sponsor of the World Cup, along with Coca-Cola, maybe.
Oh well, fuck it, it's happening then. Like,
yeah, FIFA changed Brazil's laws.
Yeah, the actual laws in the country.
Yeah, for the
amazing.
Yeah,
I'd imagine the thing with Russia not getting a World Cup till now is logistically they couldn't have held one till sort of the last decade or so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
don't forget, Russia has only just got into the 1980s. So
that's the perception. I don't think that's correct. Maybe in terms of their moral...
culturally.
Yeah.
Didn't they recently host the what did they host? The Winter Olympics?
The Winter Olympics, yeah.
Sochi.
Sochi,
yeah. Nobody died or whatever there.
No, the facilities.
Not that we know of.
But the reason for that is that it was in a particularly poor part of the country that's been underfunded for the majority of its existence. But do you know what they did for Sochi was after they herded loads of people out of their homes to make way for the athletes and that, they sent squads of were they police or were they paramilitary or some bullshit, and they had to go around and kill all of the fucking animals that got.
Yeah, stray dogs and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a story about the stray dogs, yeah.
That's fucking awful.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that is
I think that's up there with bullshit moment of the year.
Yeah.
Killing stray dogs for no reason.
Killing stray dogs just so you could hold a Winter Olympics. Not even the Olympics, just the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. Jesus, unbelievable.
I think Justin Bieber's dad is up there, bullshit person of the year.
What happened with Justin Bieber's dad?
Have you seen him? Google him right now.
Have you seen him?
He's just an idiot.
If me googling Justin Bieber's dad cuts out my internet, then
yeah.
Justin, pardon me, Bieber, good because I can't spell it. It comes up as second on the list. House is the first one. Jeremy Bieber.
Yeah.
He
does not look like a good parent.
He looks like he's touched him. He looks the kind of guy that would touch his kids.
that's libelous.
I don't agree with him as a human being.
What we'll do is we'll assume the listeners at the same time are just googling him now and as well.
Yeah.
They can have their own minute of silence.
I don't agree with him as a human being.
He was the one who allowed his son stop traffic in the middle of LA or something, didn't he? So his son could drag race some guy that they saw at a stoplight or something.
Deary me.
Imagine
You'd think with all that money you'd just go and, hire a racetrack or some shit for the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rent anywhere. But
Yeah. Just go and rent Silverstone for the day. Right.
Yeah.
Go on, have fun, boys. But no.
I
think when they
always,
say
before I record, I tell myself I'm not going to mention a certain few things that I mentioned way
is
too
Justin
much.
Bieber's dad at the top?
No. Anyways,
What a weird exclusion to make.
some of my friends recently
Okay.
shot a music video in LA, and apparently they had the street closed off for that. So you're talking
I wonder who you're talking about.
Justin Bieber's dad stopped traffic in LA. What a fucking cunt. Closing off a street for his own... What?
Yeah, but did Codeline's dads do that?
Whoa.
Oh, who said it's Codeline?
Yeah,
Who said it was
so-
Codeline?
Sorry. I mean, you too.
Bono, what a fucking hero.
Speaking of Bono, we have a guest to add to this episode. Alright, Bono, thanks for joining us. Actually, Bono told me that he's going to remain silent throughout the podcast, and that was his terms for joining,
We didn't actually invite Bono on, he just added himself to our Skype call without us wanting to.
Yeah.
He said, I'm here to talk about charity.
we tried deleting it, but we had no choice.
Every time I clap, a child dies.
Probably stop clapping then, really.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that fucking thing that goes around the internet? I love Glasgow. You two were playing a show in Glasgow, and Bono stopped the music to say, every time I click my fingers, a child dies, and then some guy in the crowd shouted out, Stop clicking then, you cunt! That is the most made-up story that anyone has ever told. I fucking hate shit like that on the internet, where it's a picture and it has text on it, so people are like, oh yeah, no, it's true, I saw it on the internet, it's a picture with text written on it. I'm gonna get a picture of Marilyn Monroe in black and white, and I'm gonna put a fucking Mussolini quote over it, and I'm gonna Instagram it.
There is a whole Tumblr account dedicated to pictures of Taylor Swift with Hitler quotes on them.
Oh, no way.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And they get teenage girls to reblog them and just going, oh, she's so strong, so true. It's nothing like a picture of Taylor Swift and just, kill the Jews. It's more like the inspirational quotes that got Hitler to where he was.
Oh, the extracts from Mein Kampf.
Yeah, that was one of his most well-known quotes. Kill the Jews.
Kill the Jews. I wonder if he ever said that outright.
he was there sitting around it with all of his high officers going, look, I'm not saying I want them dead, but if they disappeared,
He was sitting there.
that's what I would enjoy.
He was sitting there before the elections going, right, my manifesto is looking a bit thin. I need really something to stand out. And someone at the back went, kill the Jews?
Yes. Kill the Jews! What's that? What did he say? Bring him to the front. Say that again.
And that's why Hitler wins the most bullshit moment of the year.
Well done, Hitler.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
He's won the last 65 years in a row, hasn't
People
he?
just applauded Hitler on my...
Something like that.
Who would you rather was alive, Hitler or Miranda?
Oh,
I like that no one's answered, so it is tough.
yeah. It's a thinker, this one.
Yeah,
I can't think of any more bullshit moments, I'm afraid.
I was thinking the Michael Brown killing, but I don't really want to get into a real heavy fucking debate about the, ethics of police officers.
Like my
Especially on the back of Kill the Jews.
yeah. I feel like my commentary is only just going to go downhill from here.
Yeah.
I don't like the way that the media portrayed him as just a kid. He was 18. He was taller and bigger built than I am. And,
Here's what I have to say to that, right?
That's not a child.
Yeah, no, the media do that because what happens is that people say, every fucking time this happens, the media do it the exact opposite way of that, where they say, oh well, he actually stole stuff, he actually did this, like it fits a narrative. So I think the fact that the media are portraying him as being not a bigger victim, but as it being much more unjust than it actually is a turning point in the culture. Like there's a shift now in that people are much more aware of the fact that ethnic minorities, particularly black people, are mistreated by the police and by the entire like penitentiary, the whole prison system in America. I think that's why they're doing that, and like it's not factual, but it wasn't factual before either. Like some outlets were still like, yeah, well, he actually stole cigarettes. Like, yeah, well, the crime or the penalty for doing that isn't being shot.
Yeah.
I think the thing I saw about the Michael Brown thing is that the most standout picture I saw, like after it happened, obviously there was the riots and stuff like that. The person who he robbed in the first place, or whatever he did, they ransacked his shop again. Yeah. And it just says so much about people that are fucking like rioting and stuff like that.
The thing is, riots are like the thing about riots is that everyone is like, oh well, it's just damage, it doesn't actually solve anything, but that's actually not true. Like riots do actually lead to some kind of turning point in whatever system they're rioting against,
because there's more to stop when people riot.
Yeah,
there's more reason.
Yeah, there's more of a to do about it, as it were. But I think, like, look at the statistics. Look at what percentage of people that are in prison in the American system are black, and there is something there. I just think that the people of Ferguson picked the wrong person to act as their martyr.
I don't think so.
I think they picked the wrong person completely. There's security camera footage from the shop that he robbed of him holding the clerk by the throat.
Yeah.
20 eyewitnesses, I think it was, something like that. A ridiculous number that came forward and said, they saw him get shot in the back, came out and said that actually didn't happen. The forensics report came out and said that Michael Brown had gunpowder traces on his fingers, which meant that he was within close enough range to have been grabbing at the weapon when it was fired. Like, the evidence is there to support everything that was said by the police officer.
Well, gunpowder residue will shoot like several feet in any direction after a gun is fired.
Yeah.
If he's firing from his car, then obviously it's contained and there's only one, it's only going out the window, and it has to be within that, close proximity to be there.
I still think it's really weird that when people have this sort of argument, it's so fucking alien to me that the gun has to even be there at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Darren Wilson is a big fucking guy as well. He could give Michael Brown the clothesline from hell and fucking knock him out.
Why there needs to be any guns involved at all?
Yeah, I don't get it. People see the gun as the big equalizer, and it's the thing that separates everything from everything. It leads to way more fucking problems than it needs to. I will never, as an Irish person who lives in a neutral country that isn't really polluted by huge amounts of gun violence, I just will never understand the necessity for guns, or the way that they cling to the Second Amendment the way that they do, and just say as if guns are this really important thing that everyone has a God-given right to own. I just don't fucking understand it. It's not necessary. You don't need to have a gun. I don't get it.
Someone stand up I watched recently, I can't remember who it is. It's funny. I think I was talking to you about it.
That's helpful.
Yeah. He's talking about the right to bear arms and stuff like that, and he says the people's excuse over there in America is at the end of the day, it's they like guns. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
But their excuse is for safety, which is absolute stupid. They just like having guns.
Yeah, the proportion, the amount of people who use their legally obtained firearm to defend their homes up against the statistics of the amount of people who fucking injure or kill themselves with their guns accidentally. Not talking about suicides here. It's still less people defend their homes by the use of their gun than people who injure themselves with their gun. You don't need to own it. It's a weird male fantasy. It's a weird male sort of that macho like alpha male bullshit of
Protect the household.
yeah, it's like I honestly reckon, you know, you see people with their AR-15s and their like briefcase full of silencers and handles and certain magazine clips and all, like that is to a grown man what Barbie dolls and dollhouses are to little girls. It's the exact same type of fantasy that they have with them. Like that's genuinely what I believe. Like I just can't really see how it's any other thing other than, oh, I have this, like, you know, someday society is going to crumble, zombies going to walk the earth, like whatever. And believe me, America, I'm gagging for a zombie fucking apocalypse too, but I'm not going to be fucking
This comedian, he was Australian, and he says we used to have guns over there. He said, but there was a massacre about, I think it was like 10, 15 years ago or something, and then the government just sort of outlawed guns. And because they're sensible, normal people, they all just went, yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Didn't they have an amnesty? Was that correct? I think they had an
I think
amnesty.
It was after the massacre.
Right. Yeah.
And they basically just like, they said no more guns, and everyone was like, yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing gets people moving like death. Like, death is the thing that changes stuff. Like, you know, that's why it takes people dying for there to be riots. It was the same with that, what was his name, Mark Duggan, who got shot by the police in London. That leads to riots. Like, death leads to change and stuff. Like, people have to die for it to happen a lot of the time.
That didn't change anything, though.
No, that didn't. But it got people off the streets and onto the streets and rioting. You know? Like,
I mean, it's not like there's not any guns in the UK. Like, my sister goes to university it's in the countryside. She does veterinary nursing, and they've got gun lockers in their halls. Like, in their dorms, they've got gun lockers.
Yeah, but that's to kill all the vermin.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
all the squirrels at school.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Squirrels. No, but like they've all got guns. They've all got shotguns, rifles. Like, you know, she Snapchats pictures of her friends carrying their rifles over their shoulders. You know, they're 18, 19, 20. You know, it's not as if there's not
fox hunting course or something.
No, ironically, she's there to help the animals, not kill them. But you know, like, it's not like there's no guns in this country. Like, there was that the Cumbrian shootings, as well.
Yeah,
you know,
we have
happens.
Guns in Ireland too. Like,
it happens.
I have a gun here to protect my family. Imagine if that was true after the rant.
To be fair, Oscar Pistorius protected his home, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He had a gun.
Or bathroom door.
Yeah. His supermodel wife won't be hanging around in his apartment anymore.
Yeah, breaking in and sleeping in his bed or whatever she was doing.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, people are gonna disagree, whatever. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. The Americans are too attached at this point.
Yeah,
they've all got guns to protect themselves from each other, who have also got guns.
You know, you know the podcast Painkiller already with Woody's gamer tag and all. Like, I love that show, and I love all the guys who are on it, even Wings of Redemption, whatever. Like, they have episodes of that where they're just like, oh, hey, I got a new gun, and they start showing each other the guns that they have, and it's just so sad.
Surreal.
To me. I just think it's pathetic.
It's just surreal.
Like,
it's so alien to us like that, isn't it?
I don't even think, like, it's not that it's alien or that it blows my mind in any way. I just think it's pathetic. Like, I think it's so sad that they're sitting there with all this firepower, just, gonna protect my house. Like, it's so sad. I just think it's sad. And, like, I love I'm not talking bad about it. Like, I love all of the people on that show. Collectively, it's one of my favorite podcasts. But it's a type of mentality that's just so delusional, and I don't know, like, I just don't get it.
I mean, you know, they say if you own a gun, you should point if you point a gun at someone, you should be ready to kill them.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that 95%, 99% of people in America that have a gun are not ready to kill anyone.
That's a Marilyn Monroe quote, isn't it?
Like, I think it is. Regardless of the situation, even protecting their family, I'm not sure that 99% of people in America that own a gun are ready to kill someone.
No, don't think so either.
And, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's just silly, really.
Yeah, it is. It's gone so far out of control, in my opinion. Like, the firearms that people have access to. Like, there are certain states, right, where you can use a 3D printer or even whatever you want to literally build a gun and then sell it to somebody, and no background check has to be done and no license has to be obtained, because if you buy a gun that's being created by somebody, you don't legally have to register it in any way. Like, shit like that. Like, that's just fucking mental. Like, that should be so illegal. That's only in certain states, by the way. I don't know specifically. I think North Carolina might be one, but or maybe even I don't know, but it's just fucking mental to me.
And
But
there's
is it not a political thing in America? I would say the majority of Republicans are for having ownership of guns, whereas I would say,
yeah, you know your man Bill O'Reilly.
yeah,
He's against guns, and I think that's so amazing. Like you
yeah,
see
because
Bill
he's
O'Reilly,
staunchly
yeah, he's
yeah.
so Republican, and he says that he's not, but like he is, and he's a guy who gets me really angry with his argument techniques and everything. But
Yeah.
shouting over others.
yeah, exactly that. But he's against guns, and that's just amazing to me. Like I'm just
Yeah.
every time that makes me happy that he's so against guns. I love that.
Yeah, it's like you see these. There's a whole section of YouTube videos that are guys who take their AR-15 and they strap it to their back and they go out into public and just walk around and they wait for the police to turn up to shout about how this is their Second Amendment rights
Yeah, and it's
to
always,
bear arms.
and it's uploaded as like,
yeah.
guy
Police-
schools cop, like
Yeah,
stupid
guy
cop doesn't
schools
know the
cop.
law.
Police don't know the law about me being able to wander around in a kid's, in a fucking playground with an assault rifle.
Yeah, but isn't it so, like, it's the same reason we don't wander around with swords, isn't it? Like, any logical,
Yeah.
100 years ago, we stopped wandering around with swords because it looked fucking stupid, and we don't need them anymore. And it's the same with guns. Like, society, we don't need guns anymore.
Mm.
You're like, why are we wandering around with them?
I live in a town called Swords, and nobody here even walks around with swords.
Exactly.
Well, what's the point then?
Case closed.
Closed. Yeah.
All right, next thing.
We just ranted on bullshit.
That went on a lot longer than I expected it to.
So bullshit moment of the year was guns.
Yeah.
The next category.
Narrowly beating Hitler.
Yeah.
And Justin
He
Bieber's death.
just tipped him to the post.
Yeah.
How about I don't know how much you guys are in touch with this anymore, in terms of your consistently viewing it, but who would be your YouTuber of the year?
I don't know if you know about this Irish YouTuber, but
Yeah.
Is it Bread?
Bread. God, Jesus. Eldonoro Nonti. Yeah.
yeah, Eldonoro Nonti. Yeah.
Eldonoro Numpty.
Hey-o.
I don't know. I don't watch YouTube like regularly anymore.
No.
Yeah, so
I don't watch it.
now that I'm on it.
Yeah. Now that we're famous from it, it's pointless, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is.
I really got into lately watching the, like Roman Atwood and Vitaly and guys like that.
Right.
I really like prank videos when they're actual pranks and not me
Complete
going into the
douchebags.
hood and shouting racist abuse at black people and then saying, "Oh, whoa, dude, it's a prank. Hey, what's your problem?" I hate that. I hate those videos are literally the worst. But Roman Atwood and Vitaly kind of do. Vitaly's questionable, but I really like Roman Atwood. I think he's this super cool guy. And,
Yeah, I just I prefer watching the fail videos of those ones where there's one where they're on the beach and this guy goes up and he's like trying to kiss this bloke's girlfriend, and this bloke just fucking uppercuts him.
Yeah.
Knocks him clean out, and I was just
think
sat there
it
going,
deserves it. You're not. It's not being edgy. You're not.
"It's not being edgy.
funny.
You're not being funny. You're just being a knob end."
Yeah, you're just annoying people. For
It's
the sake
really
of-
down to your charisma, how people view you based on the things you say. It's the type of person you are. Like, when I was talking about how Kanye says he's the best in the world and people say that's bad, but when, say, Zlatan does it, it's great. Like, it's the exact same thing as that. If somebody goes up to someone and says it in this really abrupt and kind of obnoxious way, like, "Hey, do you mind if I kiss your girl?" But if someone does it with a certain charm about it, then they always leave the person with a smile on their face, and it's not seen as malicious anymore. And it is really down to that skill. And a lot of people don't understand that because they see the market for prank videos and just think, "Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna just go and be a dick and get shitloads of views on YouTube." And to be fair to a lot of people, that does actually work. But for me, the viewer, I don't know about other people, but I hate watching those because it's not genuine, Like, when I watch Roman Atwood videos, it's very rare that people, the marks in his videos are left annoyed or anything, confused. Like, he usually gets a smile and a handshake or whatever, and that's, really cool. because that's just the type of guy that he is. But when they leave him like angry and stuff, I don't like it. I don't like aggression and conflict and stuff like that. I hate when it's manifested in such an unnecessary way.
A lot of them sort of like aggressive like prank videos are so hard to watch as well because it just makes you cringe. You just don't want to see it.
So much. There's this one guy, I don't know his name, he's got curly hair and glasses, he's a white guy, he talks in a foreign accent, and he is always just getting punched in the face. He's always going into what he calls the hood. He's always gone up to black people and just making racist jokes and stuff. And what's even worse about that is that he's actually, like, unbeknownst to him, he's actually painting a picture in a lot of young people's heads of what black people are like. Because you always see the comment section like, oh, black dudes are so much more angry than white dudes. Like, no, that's not actually true at all.
But he's gone into where they live and their area and has abused them. Not abused them, but he has...
Well, no, yeah, he has basically gone in and racially abused them.
Yeah.
Someone came up to you and like just started shouting racial abuse in your face, and it's just like
you'd do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone called you a fucking ginger cunt, Jack. Then you.
Which Ginger Jack were you talking to?
Both.
Well, now you're outnumbered. You found that out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Only the bottom part of my face is ginger, so
all of my faces.
My beard is actually ginger as well, to be fair. So.
I think the gingers outnumber everything else here, so...
Yep.
I've got to quickly find a ginger pube, haven't I, or something.
It really annoys me that I have a ginger beard. Like, I'll never really get over that, so...
I don't see the problem with it. It's great.
Yeah, what are you moaning about?
It's a talking point.
I don't need talking points.
So, you've got a ginger beard? Yep.
Yep.
That's
it. Okay, so
yeah,
what do you think a talking point is?
Yeah, because you didn't talk much.
I never said it was a good talking point.
Right, what were we talking about there? Yeah, YouTuber of the year. Do we have it? I'm gonna say Roman Atwood, because he's got a movie coming out and all, and I think I've enjoyed watching his videos the most. Yeah, Natural Born Pranksters with Roman, Vitali, and that other guy, the bald guy with the shaved head and the beard. Dennis, maybe? Is that his name?
Heisenberg.
Yes, Heisenberg. Yep, that's who it is.
Yeah.
Well done, Jack.
I don't know. I can't really vote this because I've not watched YouTube. I have watched YouTube, obviously, but I don't watch YouTube stuff anymore.
The only YouTube I watch is every now and then when I catch an episode of your Leicester City career mode. So and
that's shit. So
yeah, exactly. I'd feel morally wrong voting for that. So.
I like to watch episodes of this podcast while I'm in the bathroom, and I will say no more.
What are you doing in the bathroom?
Just do whatever.
Just sitting down.
I'm also going to give an honourable mention to Channy Sports because his channel's done really well this year, and I'm really happy for him, and his content is awesome. Yeah. What about the Midnight Hour episode of the year? We kind of...
This one right here.
Yeah. Yep. Especially the middle section where we all cut out.
That was good.
Really great.
Yeah, that was great.
Hopefully I'm going to edit that really well so you won't notice it.
I think I like the Would You Rather episode and the zombie episode, I think.
The zombie episode was good.
Yeah.
I think the best one, and I'm really sorry to Jack and Loosemore, but I think the best one was episode 2, the Fears and Phobias one. That is the top peak of what I wanted the Midnight Hour to be.
It's gone fucking downhill since then, isn't it?
Yeah, every episode since then has just been rubbish in comparison. But I don't know. I like that. Like, I think my favorite part about the Midnight Hour is probably making the intros and coming up with things like that. So my favorite episode will be whatever has
the best part of the Midnight Hour is the stuff before and after where we're talking shit between each other.
Yeah. I really like. I wonder how many people actually listen all the way through and hear the kind of the bits at the end where it's like the pre-show type thing.
Yeah.
What
just
about
us chat shit.
Worst internet trend of the year?
Oh, that's Jack, you have so many fucking good ideas.
Yep.
Why do you not say this stuff at the beginning?
Yeah,
why
do you let us believe that you're this moron? Like, who's incapable of stringing a sentence together, but then you actually contribute.
I know. I'm spectacular.
Biggest surprise of 2014 is Jack Brown.
My name is Jeff.
That's pretty bad.
Worst of all year. It was never funny. It isn't now.
You know what I don't like? I don't know if this is an internet trend, but how high my voice just went there. Now, when people describe something as so jokes, That was so.
Oh,
That's been
so
gone. That's been a long time though.
That's fucking annoying, that is. Or you know, another thing that people do is they start off their sentence with nah. Like, no one will have said anything for an hour and it's like, nah, I'm getting a can of Coke. Like, you know, what the hell is that about? You can just start a sentence with the word no.
I don't know when this happened, but I seem to have missed the memo that happened about the whole top knot and beard thing.
Top knot. Oh yeah, on top of your head. Yeah.
What is that? Yeah.
Like, I've had fairly long hair in the past. When did everybody decide to start growing out their hair and shaving the sides and having a top knot? Because I missed that one completely.
I have put up with so much abuse for having long hair. And
The whole
suddenly it's cool.
All trendy appearances have come from someone who is semi-famous having that appearance.
Macklemore.
Well, it's always that, isn't it?
So the whole sort of shaved head and shaved sides and like slick back on top, like one of the major people, first major to do it was one of the people of Towie, that Joey Essex.
Well, Macklemore.
It fucking has to be, doesn't it?
And the guys from Imagine Dragons, they all had it.
Yeah, so one person do it, and everyone decides they want their hair to look like a fucking ice gem. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's bizarre. Like, I don't get it. I know so many people who have that haircut now. You know,
yeah.
Yesterday I was getting the bus to my girlfriend's house, and I looked out the window, and on Camden Street in Dublin, there's Turkish barbers, because it's mostly Turkish barbers who specialise in that, isn't it? And I think there's been a huge surge in the popularity of Turkish barbers. And there were 3 people sitting on the chairs in there, and they all had that haircut. It was amazing.
I mean, Brentwood is the worst place in the world because it is Essex Central.
Yeah.
And it's just full of cunts.
But isn't it therefore probably sort of more hipstery with the glasses and the tattoos and the fucking haircuts and stuff? It's all on that brink of sort of trying to be fashionable and stuff, but awful.
Another one, not necessarily like it's haircut based again, because I really have a problem with other people's hair. When did that whole because when you don't have the sides completely shaved off and long on top, but you've kind of got like short on top and short on the sides, having a slit cut that goes from like your forehead all the way towards the back of your head, that shaved slit thing down.
Yeah, but footballers do that, don't they?
Yeah, when did that happen? When did that become a thing?
I don't know.
Because I missed that one as well.
Isn't it really weird with trend? I don't know if this will make sense to you guys, but isn't it really weird how, like, say that kind of haircut, like, I don't know if I can describe what I'm trying to say, but in your head you're like, well, that makes sense for where this particular trend of haircut is going. Like, yeah, that's the logical next step in that haircut. Like, isn't it weird, like, you look back at the 90s and like the haircuts and even like the fashion, the clothes, like you could see where it reached its breaking point. Like, I think Claire Danes on the it was like the MTV Awards or some. Oh no, I think it was like the Oscars after Romeo and Juliet. The fucking dress that Claire Danes was wearing was like, you look at that dress and you're like, yeah, that's the logical conclusion of 90s trends. And then after that, things changed a little bit. Like, there's always some bizarre thing that you look at it and you're like, that actually makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. And then in your head you're just like, yep, this is too much. Change it back now. Yeah, I'm recording a podcast.
Give me some Skittles, please.
Can we have interruption of the year? Goes to this.
Can I abuse that interruption and go get a beer?
Yeah, go for it. Although I need to be in the pub in like half an hour, so.
Well, fuck it. I can wait. My alcoholism can wait.
Your alcoholism, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Trends and stuff like that move really quickly kind of interest me, but in more of a I'm confused and I don't understand them.
Yeah, I'm confused by 90% of trends, whether it be fashion trends or internet trends or...
Yeah.
Not confused by I understand all of them and I'm up to date with most, but I just don't do... It's just
I think the last time I adhered to a fashion trend was in the early 2000s when I was a skateboarder, and as a skateboarder you have to wear a band hoodie, usually Slipknot or Limp Bizkit. Or Korn, they were a big one as well. And you have to wear baggy jeans that, for some reason, have a wallet and a chain in it, even though you're 12 years old and you have no money in your wallet. That is the only time I've ever actually gone along with whatever the fashion was. Like I pretty much have dressed the same since I was 15. Like jeans, a hoodie, a t-shirt, like trainers, whatever.
Do you know what? I wear trainers, but not Nike trainers. I will never wear them.
I wear Adidas, always Adidas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the like Huaraches and stuff like that. The
But,
shites that people wear.
I can't remember the last time I wore trainers that weren't Adidas.
You wear Ralph Lauren ones.
Oh yeah, apart from them.
Yeah, I just that chef is the worst of all time. It's not.
I speaking of things we don't understand as well, and internet things, I don't understand how like memes become a thing. Like, at what point does someone go, all right, this picture here and this format of this, the way we format text on it, that's the done thing, and everyone else just goes, yeah, okay, yeah, I agree with that. Like, yeah,
You know,
I'm fine with that.
I think with stuff like that, and I don't know how right this is, but I honestly think that at some point during like certain cultural revolutions, do you know, like Breaking Bad is a cultural revolution. It like changed how everyone talks about it all the time. It's a huge fucking deal. It like launched Bryan Cranston's, like revitalized his career, whatever.
Yeah.
With pictures like that get really popular, I think that what happens is so many people are engrossed in one particular thing that a few people, a few creative types or whatever, just come up with it themselves. But it's never just one person who uploads. Like, I think several people do it around the same time just because their minds are thinking on the same level, and that's how it becomes a thing. I think that's originally what a meme actually is that it's a point that the culture gets to where things start to... No, I don't actually think that's what a meme is, but that's what I think the picture version of it on the internet that we call a meme now. That's honestly what I think it is that people just come up with the same jokes. Because it's the same, like, you look at anything that happens on Twitter, like, fucking yesterday, I think it was, America and Cuba mended their diplomatic relations or whatever it was. Everyone made the exact same jokes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, right, they're going to have McDonald's in Cuba now, like, all shit like that. Like, everyone just comes up with the exact same shit. And I think a few people will come up with their own creative jokes, and those are the ones that make it to the top. And I think it's the exact same, because like any meme when you look at it for the first time is funny, like there's no doubt about it. The socially awkward penguin, like that's fucking hilarious. Like it gets tiresome over time, but whoever came up with that, whichever people contributed to that, are clever. Like that's a good thing.
The things, events like that with America and Cuba, obviously like diplomatic relations becoming back to normal. That should be like one of the biggest events, but it's brought down so much by the people who just try and make stupid jokes about it.
Yeah, I don't know, like.
But life isn't
Don't you think that brings it somehow to the forefront? Like in a weird sort of way, the fact that so many people make jokes about it, at least
they're talking about it.
At least, yeah. Exactly. At least
I'd say what it does is it prohibits certain people's actual understanding of.
Yeah.
Because what they want. Like, yeah, they want to be seen as a person who makes a joke about something, and usually if you make a funny joke about something, it means that you're relatively informed about something because you've studied enough to make that type of thing. So the people who are saying like, oh yeah, they're going to have McDonald's down there now, like, shut the fuck up. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks for listening.
That got aggressive, yeah.
No,
I didn't want to follow that up because it was so harsh.
Yeah. So that was the biggest America and Cuba relations of the year 2014. That's the winner.
Round of applause.
What category were we doing there? Midnight Hour episode of the year?
Yeah,
I think we were. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh no, it was worst internet trend of the year.
Oh yeah.
That's it. What is the best internet trend of the year? It's Jeff Seven, isn't it?
It's Doge. The Doge.
Was that this year?
Maybe not.
Yeah, the fact. Oh well, the fact that it spawned a whole fucking cryptocurrency is just phenomenal. So.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, that I fucking love the Doge meme so much.
I remember we used to just put pictures in Skype all the time, didn't we?
Yeah.
That would be it.
The
every now and then when someone says such something, it's always so wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna invite Christian into this call because he's never been on the Midnight Hour before, and it's the last one before Christmas anyway, and it's over soon. So
should we have a party? We can get Godfrey in.
Shall we wish him a Merry Christmas?
Let's not bring the tone of this down.
Oh yeah, any further anyway.
I've added Christian to the call and it is not calling. What does that mean?
Should we get...
Oh, Jack, you're the host actually. You need to call him.
Should we get... We can get loads of people in actually.
No,
let's get loads of people in. Let's have a party.
Let's get Christian in and see how it goes. I need to go to the pub actually, so if you guys want to invite loads of people and I'll just leave and you can close the show, I would actually be totally down for that. We could do that.
What, and then it just keeps recording for the next 6 hours?
Yeah. I'll pick out the good bits, and that's what we'll do.
Christian,
Hello.
welcome to the Midnight Hour.
Okay.
Christian
you're
is
right.
thrilled to be here. Yeah, you've
He's
won.
also thrilled.
We're doing an award show, like Best Things of the Year, and you've just won Best Christian of the Year.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so flattered, guys. It's always been my dream to win something on the Midnight Hour.
You were up against the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh, if I didn't fucking win that.
It was close.
It was close, yeah.
I was arguing for the Westboro, but you know.
Yeah,
I
that's
think we all
a
were, really.
No.
What do you think was the best internet trend of 2014?
Me?
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell. Put me on the spot now.
Well, I said the Doge meme, but we think that was probably last year.
I
and
said Jeff said him.
the banter vines.
I'd possibly put the RKO out of nowhere.
No.
That was good. I did enjoy that.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Or any of the wrestling
Takes
memes.
like wrestling.
You don't have to like wrestling to like that. I don't.
Yeah, a good
I
out of
agree.
nowhere.
I agree. It was
out of
good,
nowhere.
but I don't think it was anywhere near Jeff Stelling.
Wait, what's your Jeff Stelling one? What was that?
Just the banter one. No,
That's
what's
Richard
you saying Jeff
Keys.
Stelling? Richard Keys.
Yeah,
I'd say, yeah.
the Richard Keys one was really good.
What's the worst internet trend, Christian?
Would you class Kim Kardashian as an internet trend?
No.
Classer is
We
a
took-
fucking amazing.
I said the My Name is Jeff lines.
I
Yeah.
don't actually know what they're even about.
I kind of do, but at the same time, I find myself looking at them and just wondering why. Like, I don't know. They don't make any. I don't know.
They're just not funny.
No, they're just not funny.
That's all it is at the end of the day, but
Like-
people go on like they're hilarious.
Yeah, what happens with those is that like somebody has come up with it, and it's in the context of whatever. Like it's a movie, you know, in a scene where someone says, "Who are you?" and then the guy just goes, "Oh, I am Jeff," and that someone. Why it continues is that people are trying to pitch in with their own jokes to get the retweet or the share, you know, so they just come up with their own little thing. The best example of that was actually good was the Just Waiting for a Mate.
Oh, that was
Oh,
amazing.
just waiting for a wait.
That
that was
brilliant.
funny.
That was fantastic. But with the whole "my name is Jeff" thing, I work in a kitchen and we answer the phone to clients, and you say like, so "Hello kitchen, Jack speaking," and you always try and get each other to mess up by saying like "Hello kitchen," you know, something else. Like people have answered the phone recently just saying "Hello Christmas," and that's all they've said. And then they stood there and just looked really embarrassed, while the other person on the other end just goes like, "What the fuck?" So once someone answered the phone and just went, "Hello, my name is Jeff." And we all just stood there and looked at them, and it was like, "What? What just
It's
happened?
oh.
What just happened?" Like, no, they gave no prelude to this. There was no build-up. They weren't going, "Yeah, I'm going to do it. Like, it'll be hilarious." It just happened, and we all kind of turned around like,
They
"What?"
the person was definitely looking around like for confirmation as well.
Yeah.
Someone going,
And we were all
that is
stood there
wicked.
looking at them, just going,
Please don't do
What?
that.
I don't really understand because it's not even a funny scene in the movie, is it?
I've
Like,
seen
from-
that scene in the movie, and it's
What movie is it?
It's 22 Jump Street.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
No.
it's not even
They've
funny.
seen the first 21. Ha 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 ha.
Ew. Yeah, it's
dear.
not. I don't understand how it's funny. It never was funny in the movie, and it's not funny now.
Don't worry, if you thought that joke was bad, I made the best joke of 2014 earlier, so...
I can't even remember what that was.
It was about Transformers 4.
Oh god.
And terrorism. My two favourite things.
And I'm going to have to wait till this is uploaded to hear it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
What was the best act of terrorism of 2014? Nah, just kidding.
Oh, it's finally you ask a question that I know an answer to.
"Go on."
No,
I think it was
I don't.
Alia's album.
I'll immediately have my award stripped away if I answer that question.
Which means you've actually got an opinion on it, which is bad.
Yeah, that reminds me of... No, I'm not going to go there, actually.
Go, do it.
I really... This,
Go
right,
for it.
I have to, like, before I say this, right, I do not think that rape is funny, and I don't think that rape
This is a
jokes
rape
are
disclaimer that you've got going.
Funny. Yeah, this is a rape disclaimer, because I don't...
Rape is about as least funny as anything gets.
Yeah, like,
but
it's not a thing to make fun of. However,
Oh god.
we all have a mutual friend by the name of Jamos. In fact, he was on one episode of the Midnight Hour, which has been locked in a vault, and no
Never
one will ever
tried.
listen to it. But for reasons I'm about to go into, a while ago, about I don't know what was this, like 3 years ago. Myself, Christian, I think Jack Brown, Jamos, and Nep were all staying at Nep's house. Weirdly enough, Nep stays at his own house from time to time, and
Only for the night we was there.
yeah. I was
Benefits
sleeping
of
on
owning
the
your own house.
floor in Nep's sitting room, and Jamas was sleeping on the couch. And I said to him, like, "Have you ever seen American History X or something?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's a good rape scene in that." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "It's in my top 5 rape scenes of all time." And I was like, "Hold on, what the actual fuck? What's the other 4?" And he listed off the other 4. And like,
If there's a question you should never ask.
yeah,
Are we really throwing Jamos under the bus here? Like,
no, I think if we got him on the show, he would jump under it himself. But like, I have to just set this straight. Right? Why I think that's funny is not actually to do with the rape. It's the fact that he said a thing that's a part of a movie that you don't usually think or talk about because it's so taboo. And he listed off 5 movies that all contain that exact. So
It's more the fact that he's put some thought into what his top
yeah,
5
like, but he
rape
did it
was.
so
Seriously.
rapidly that you can't help but appreciate the fact that he was like, he obviously made that as a joke, but he was so committed to the joke that he saw it through till the end, and I really do respect that.
you respect the commitment to the joke, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
My question is, was the rape scene from Clockwork Orange in there?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
And
one of the many.
one from Scum as well, and I can't remember what else. But yeah,
That was weird.
What a guy.
He's great.
What an upstanding member of society.
he is great. We were all sitting outside a pub once, and he went into this really loud. Jamos doesn't really talk; he shouts, and he went into this really loud speech about how he would happily suck Roy Keane off any place, anytime. And yeah, so that's a little bit about him. Hopefully someday as we'll all get to hear about him. But yeah, that's a thing that happened. Will we go for another category? I don't really know if I can think of much, but we did like video game of 2014, and we all agreed that it was GTA 5 on PS4, which did come out in 2014.
I've heard it's great.
It is.
It's fucking good. I'm not gonna lie.
Cloud Simulator 2014 for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good game, though.
It's still GTA though.
Yeah.
What about worst game of 2014?
I've got an opinion that like not many people are gonna know it. It's NHL,
No,
but
I've
that's
never heard of it.
none of you are ever gonna actually hear that or know it. So
I mean, I know what it is. It's the
Oh, I
hot
know
game,
it,
isn't
yeah.
can we go with Call of Duty Ghosts?
Call of Duty Ghosts
That was
was
last year.
2013, yeah, but it
But-
was fucking dire.
Honestly,
I gave up on Call of Duty, 3 years ago now?
when did I give up? For Ghosts, I gave up actually.
Yeah, Ghosts. Well, I gave up with Advanced Warfare, which I bought last week. Nah, just kidding, I haven't bought that game. But yeah, Ghosts was absolutely diabolically bad, and I regret even buying it.
I agree, and I'm like the biggest COD fanboy
Yeah, exactly.
as well. I've got COD on now. I was
Yeah.
just playing COD when I got invited into this.
Yeah, Christian's in like the top 10 Black Ops 2 players of all time, so.
Shit.
I mean, the times we had on Call of Duty, it's just you can't have them anymore.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, you just can't have them anymore.
Most fun I've ever had on a game, like in a party.
The thing is, it was one of the games where like I'd come in from college, like going at like 2 o'clock, and I know the same 6 people would be on.
Yeah.
It would be the same party every single night.
I was doing 12-hour shifts in a postal company and coming home at like from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and coming home and still playing Call of Duty for fucking 4.5 hours a night. Like,
It was just
Shit.
such an amazing game.
Search and destroy.
That was all it was.
Modern Warfare 2 is definitely the game of 2009.
It is probably it's either second or third on my favourite game of all time. GoldenEye and Zelda above it.
Yeah, GoldenEye was amazing.
Yeah, but
GoldenEye has
is it on
aged.
there because of the times that we played it, or is it because you actually enjoy the game?
Enjoyed the game.
Really?
I mean, the party.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I
the
really
party.
Do you know
enjoyed
what?
it before the party. Before we even played as a party, I was playing it.
Oh.
I think it's a terrible, terrible game, but it was just so fun
Yeah, I don't
because of
think
what
I
the
don't
game
think
is
it's
and
like-
what the party was.
Yeah.
But if you try playing GoldenEye now, it is aged so badly.
I actually have GoldenEye on PS3.
So bad.
Activision re-released it.
Is it actually any good?
You can't really tell because there's only ever 4 people online. Honestly, I've had fucking like team deathmatches on there where it's 1v1. Like you'd never get anyone online on that game. So I don't know. I was originally gonna, when I first ever started my YouTube channel, I was gonna upload GoldenEye, but nobody was playing
I do remember that. I actually do remember that.
That's hideous.
Yeah, I actually had a GoldenEye video that I uploaded once, but that will never see the light of day either. It's in the vault with
Is that in the same vault?
And Christian's answer to best terrorist act of 2014. Yeah, I think the worst game. Loosemore actually said this to me before the podcast, but he said Watch Dogs, and
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
just in terms of how much of a disappointment it was and how much it failed to live up to the hype, like yeah, I'd go along with that. Shit game.
Yeah, I never played that, but
Well, because the PS4 was kind of was when they announced the PS4, they announced Watch Dogs, didn't they?
Yeah.
And like the graphics and the trailer and everything made it look fantastic, and they postponed it, and then it's just not that good. So yeah.
what was it's going to be a good game, but I can't remember what it was, so we'll ignore that.
Yeah, good
Cool story, Jack.
Good
Yep.
talk.
I should go in the vault with the other stuff as well. Edit
But
that
that
out.
Jabba's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If anyone thinks of another category, now would be the time.
Good
Did we
chat.
get any responses from the tweet I sent out earlier?
Yeah, one of them was the inspiration for my World Cup joke. Someone just tweeted World Cup.
Oh really?
Let me look through it now. Actually, best scandal is one.
It's FIFA, obviously.
Yeah, I think that too. Loosemore, here's one for you. Top 5 Russell Crowe facts. That's not a fucking... Yeah, I suppose the top 5 Russell Crowe facts for the year. Imagine the top 5 Oscar movies of the year. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Loosemore, give us a Russell Crowe fact.
Do you want me to repeat one from before, or just
I want to see what it's like if you make one up on the spot.
Yeah, I want that to happen.
I want to know how capable you are of this. Not very capable.
I'm trying to, yeah.
I can hear Loosemore's brain.
Yeah, just churning away.
Yeah. I'm actually getting ready to go out right now, which is pretty good.
Well, that's yeah, great. Well, I won't have to do the Russell Crowe facts.
We've got one best moment of Shark Week. Yeah, I think that too.
I missed that this year, so.
I just listened to Macklemore's The Heist album, which was the Grammy-winning best rap album of the year, which actually goes into the biggest scandal of the year. I don't even care about human rights if Good Kid, Mad City isn't winning best rap album somewhere.
And fucking U2 winning Rolling Stone album of 2014.
Biggest invasion of privacy of the year. You're thinking
U2.
NSA, but you're wrong. Yeah, U2's
Delete.
album.
No.
Yeah, being all up in your face.
Yeah, also, yeah, the leaked Sony executive salaries and shit like that.
Also, the whole nude hacking scandal. That
Yeah.
was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty
That was
bad.
pretty
That was
Yeah,
more
that
what
was-
I meant, but yeah.
That was pretty
The
good.
We
invasion
did a
of-
whole episode on that, though, so...
No, we did, yeah.
Yeah, that was good times. Yeah. So best Christmas movie ever. Go, everybody. Well, no, we'll do it in a. Let's see, clockwise. Jack.
Clockwise? What the?
I don't
Are
know.
we sitting in a circle in here?
There's 2 Jacks. Jack Brown. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Finding Nemo.
It's one of 2: Land Before Time or Elf.
Is that before the time of Christmas?
I was gonna ask.
It was at Christmas. I probably just watched it at Christmas actually, so that's bollocks. Elf, my favourite is Elf.
Yeah, mine is Rambo.
I'm going for Jingle All the Way.
Yes.
Mine is Pootie
Good.
Tang. It's a black movie. I'm just made up.
Does everyone know that's Russell Crowe's favourite Christmas film too?
That is Russell Crowe's, yeah. I'm going to go with Gladiator, that Russell Crowe epic. No, I'm going to go with Lethal Weapon, is my favourite Christmas movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Lethal Weapon. I'm gonna go with Die Hard because it's the best Christmas movie, apart from Jingle All the Way, and also Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Christian?
Is that
Mine's A Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Yay.
Definitely. What are you talking about? It's a quality film.
Yeah, it
Heartwarming
is.
tale.
The tiny frogs have to have,
Alright, one last
walk
thing.
sticks.
Best Christmas song of all time. Apart from Killing in the Name by Rage
Oh,
Against
God damn
the
it, there
Machine.
goes my answer.
Fuck's sake, yeah.
Can I go with the Wildstone Raider?
No,
Okay.
because fuck you, that's why.
It's what's it called, isn't it? The faggot one.
Fairy Tale New York.
Yeah.
Hoax.
I honestly think it is.
Oh, shit.
Objectively, I just think it is the absolute best. Like,
It is.
Yeah.
Michael
John
Bublé.
Lennon one is pretty good too.
What, War is Over?
Yeah.
Even
Even if it is just a lie.
Yeah.
Would Hallelujah be counted as a Christmas song?
No.
It's the best Shrek song.
I
Oh.
hate that fucking song because every time you go out and like you're in a pub where some cunt has an acoustic guitar, you have to hear his interpretation of Hallelujah. Listen, motherfucker, there are other songs to sing.
Do people in
Yeah, like
Ireland
what-
just do random renditions of songs and they have acoustic guitar in a pub?
What, you never been to a pub where someone play? Well, I suppose there are no acoustic guitars in Essex.
No, it's all sluts and
Not since the great acoustic guitar fire of
yeah.
1865.
There was an amnesty.
The mayor of Essex banned them from ever being in that place.
It's-
So I genuinely love Driving Home for Christmas by Chris Rea,
That's good.
Actually, that is a great
That's a
song.
good song, yeah.
and I don't care.
What's the Mariah Carey one?
The
All I
wrong
Want for
answer.
Christmas is You.
Yeah, that's the one.
Any cover of Michael Bublé, all of his ones.
Oh, look, the Michael Bublé Christmas album, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's
That's my favourite.
I really don't like Michael Bublé or anything that he stands for.
I don't like him as a person because he fucks about for 10 months of the year and then decides to do a bit of PR for his album that came out 3 years ago.
Can you blame him though?
No, of course I don't. He's
No,
made
it's just-
so much money off that.
Jack is a publicist, so he knows how frustrating that can be. Yeah, I don't like the way all he's doing is covering Frank Sinatra songs and stuff like that. Like, I don't like, he's just a crooner, like, who's just gotten that position because he's got a pretty face and that old ladies will like him and everything. Like, he's in the exact demographic of people who buy CDs as well. Like, the older generation who refuse to adapt and the really young people, like...
But don't you think he's the only? It's weird that he's the only one doing that.
Adele.
Like, he's his own market. He's doing an impression of Frank Sinatra, but he's the only one doing an impression of Frank Sinatra, and he's made millions off it. You'd think another person would come along and go, wait a second, he's doing a great impression of Frank Sinatra. I'll do one of Dean Martin, but it's not. It's just him. He's his only market for impressions of Frank Sinatra, and it's incredible. I say fair play to him, and that's why I own all of his CDs.
And the most fired member of the Midnight Hour, 2014, Loosemore.
I dare you. Who will read the intros?
Yeah, that's true. I need you. You can just read the intro and then fuck off in future. That's how we'll do it. But yeah, we are going to end the episode here. How long do you reckon that was?
That was a good hour and a half.
It's a good hour and a half.
Well, yeah, but how much did we record before we had a complete meltdown in the middle?
About 20, 30 minutes-ish.
Mm.
It's good times, it's good times. We did well. We did a great episode. We got a new guest. Everyone say hello to
Yep.
Christian.
I'm proud of our achievements.
Yeah, I think we've done very, very well. We talked bad about North Korea and guns.
And rape.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, Jesus Christ.
we gave some awards to some deserving people.
How many podcasts do you know that can do all that in 1 hour and a half?
It's a talent.
It is a
Yeah.
talent.
I'm proud of our endeavours, just overall.
Yeah, we're good people.
We're
Yeah.
alright.
I'm imagining most people won't even get to this stage and won't even hear my voice, so...
I dropped out about an hour ago.
Let's set a thing for them to comment if they've made it this far. If they've heard Christian's voice, they have to comment saying something. What'll it be?
Hashtag Christian.
North Korea is best Korea.
Nah, that's too obvious.
What
They'll
was
be
your question?
expecting that.
What was the question?
like just come up with a sentence that the people listening have to comment in the comment section if they've made it to this point. But they're not gonna. No one ever comments on the Midnight Hour anyway, so like it's probably just not gonna happen.
I just watched the Midnight Hour.
Yeah.
Comment that.
Right. Do that. So comment saying I just watched the Midnight Hour. That's very inventive from the guy who's actually come up with several really good ideas and is now referring back to his usual.
There's no middle ground with Jack. There's either.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
End it with Christmas miracle.
What if there's
No.
none?
The woman is dead.
We'll all have to face this alone. There's a when, not an if, inside everybody. Moral thoughts like these can make you feel so alone. You're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die alone. You're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die alone. Oh, all alone. And if you can't sleep at night and there's no one to hold you, remember I'm going through the same. You gotta laugh into the dark. We're all one in a million. What a life we existed, we took part in the game. We're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die alone. We're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die alone. We're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die alone. Oh, all alone.
Longest month of 2014.
I was gonna say that and then have the shortest one, but not give it
Yeah. And we'll explain it in some douchey way because of the putting.
Oh, it's an
back
obvious
parts.
disqualification, isn't it?
Yeah. February was disqualified, so we're giving it to March.
But
Which
what?
doesn't make sense because March actually has 31 days. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Hey, fuck it, Sab.
Well, no. What we can say is that the shortest month of the year award goes to December because there's only 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, I like it.
And you've got them on a technicality. Well done.
Thank you. And if people argue that, I will explain to them that there is only 25 days on my advent calendar, which I opened in December. Therefore, even though I was wrong in the first place, I'm still right.
You get 25, do you?
Yeah, man, of course I do.
Mine doesn't have a Christmas day.
Doesn't it? I used to have I used to get advent calendars that went up to the 31st.
Yeah. But then this year,
Those were the fucking tits.
hecky days of 2 years ago. Yeah.
Well, you know, the economy has slumped. I can't be affording all that chocolate anymore.
Diabetes is the highest.
Yeah.
There's no end to that sentence. It's just the highest.
Diabetes among young 20-something adults who still should know better and not eat fucking advent calendars is quite high.
Yeah.
Since I changed my name to Jingle Bell De Niro, I have lost about 22 followers.
That's about deserved. You deserve to lose even more than that, to be honest, because that's fucking atrocious.
Alright,
really.
Jack, is it not good enough for you, no?
Not really, no.
Jack Swagasaurus over there. Trying to fucking grind my gears
Yeah.
about my name.
Yeah, basically.
Jack,
I actually like it.
thanks, man.
Thanks. No, the question is, who was he talking to?
Well,
Doesn't matter. Just assume both of you.
Oh, lovely.
well,
It's like how when someone told Tom Cruise that he had a weird run, and now he runs like he thinks he's
Yeah,
a
but he
fucking
does that in every movie.
cruise missile.
Tom Cruise has a fucking incredible run.
Yeah.
Like, the reason he runs in every movie he's in is because he looks really fucking cool when he runs, and not many people can pull
That's
that off.
another thing. Top movie run of 2014. Any Tom Cruise movie.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think someone like Sterling must know that he runs weird, and I think that's why a lot of football players I know a lot of football players don't like watching themselves play, because they must watch back and just go, Jesus Christ, I run like a pansy.
I don't know if footballers have the mental capacity to self-ruminate like that. Like, I think they just look at themselves and they're just like, do you know what? I'm the best footballer in the fucking world.
Yeah, it's the Nicholas
I'm
Best
not even sure some players would be able to recognise themselves on television. I'm not sure they understand how mirrors work. They'd look at it and think, oh, that chap's quite good.
Yeah.
Runs like a bit of a girl, but that chap's quite good.
We should
sign him.
For the first 3 years of Rooney's career, he thought he was Sol Campbell.
He'd still think he was Sol Campbell, but apart from the hair, now he just thinks he's Adebayor.
Well, Sol Campbell retired, obviously, but he just stopped seeing him on the pictures. Like, where am I?